Madridistas, we have now finished the U.S. preseason tour, and we ended it in the right way, defeating Chelsea 2-1. In this video, I'm going to be recapping the game, talking about some of the highlights, some of the lowlights, as well as my man of the match. So let's jump into it. As you can see on the screen now, this was the starting 11 that Carlo Ancelotti rolled out there, and I was a little surprised that we don't see Endrick getting the start or Arda Güler, and neither of them actually play at all in this match. And so I'm not sure if either of them are injured. That's something we might be discussing in the future, but neither of them play at all in this game. I was very happy, though, that we finally get to see Rodrigo make his preseason debut and then Vinicius get the start as well. Vinny looked fantastic, in my opinion, in the El Clasico, and he picked right where he left off, and he looks so ready to go for this season. I think this is going to be a huge year for Vinny Jr., and I'm curious to hear from you, too. I've asked it before in my live stream, which also, if you haven't been watching those, after some of these post games, I'll be doing live streams. And so if you want to come and chat, talk about the match, definitely hit that subscribe button. We'll be doing a lot more of those in the future. But my question for you, who do you think is going to have a better season, Vinny Jr. or Mbappe this year for Real Madrid? Very curious to hear from you. In this game as well, Brahim starts at like a false 9, a false 10. Position-wise, I wasn't 100% sure what he was doing in this one, just because also position-wise, Rodrigo kept going to the left wing in this game too. The thing with Rodrigo, I think we have to remember, and when we watch him, he is a right winger, but he's truly a left winger, and that's where he wants to go. He drifts over there every single time, and so it kind of messes up the positioning. It overloads the left-hand side, which can be good. We saw a lot of that last year, but if we're going to be playing a 4-3-3 with Mbappe up top, Rodrigo really needs to stay on that side. I think that's going to be something interesting to watch moving forward. In the midfield, it was pretty much the same lineup before. Mario Martin, Modric, and Ceballos. Modric, to me, looks ready to go, which it's a big surprise just because he's 38 going on 39. And honestly, he looks a lot healthier than he did last year. And I think that Real Madrid's really going to need a really healthy Modric this year. I think even though he's older, I think we're going to be asking him to do a lot this year and really be a really good leader out there for the team, as well as the responsibility that he's going to have controlling that midfield coming on as a super sub. I think is going to be very important for Real Madrid this season. In the back, of course, we have Lucas Vazquez getting a start and Fran Garcia. And Fran, I thought he had a lot better game today than he did in El Clasico, even though he does basically give up the goal to Madueke in this one. I thought defensively, there's still a lot of limitations with this game. However, offensively, I actually think he's a pretty good asset. And the link-up play with Vinny, even though it might not be the best passing between them, I think the runs that Fran Garcia does and the supporting runs really opens up the defense a lot. And I think that's one of the better aspects of his game. Militao and Rudiger get the start in the back, and I thought today that this was Militao's best game that he's had in over a season. Still recovering from the ACL last season. I did not trust him. He looked really awkward, like newborn deer out there. Didn't like it at all. But today, he was great. I thought position-wise, I thought he was a lot better. He gets a good block in the box. And on a counterattack, he basically completely stops the counterattack in this game too. So Militao, I thought he did a lot better. Rudiger, he did fine in this game. The preseason game, I wasn't impressed with him so far at all in this preseason tour. So it'll be interesting to see is he digressing a little? Is it just a preseason tour for him? I think Rudiger is one of the best center backs, if not the best center back in the world right now. And so I'm hoping that he can have a really big season. And we need him just because the depth that we have at center back is lacking a lot. Other than Militao and Rudiger, it drops off heavy because Alaba's still gone. And so that's going to be an interesting position for us to watch this season. We finally score more than one goal in this game. In the first goal, what a pass by Rodrigo. I was a little critical of Rodrigo in this game, just because in the beginning, this was his first couple minutes in preseason, and I thought he was really meh, is the best word to describe it. Didn't love his positioning, didn't love kind of his effort in there, and I understand it's preseason, but I just needed to see a little more effort from him in this game, and I thought he actually does come on later and looks better, but he looks better at the left wing than he does at the right wing, which that's my worry for him, is he is so much more comfortable on the left wing. Last season, he was a lot better when Vinny was out and he was able to go over to the left. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Rodrigo does. However, the first goal, it's a fantastic pass from Rodrigo to Brahim. It's a fantastic through ball, and Brahim sends it over to Lucas Vazquez, who takes honestly a pretty terrible weak shot, and it kind of trickles into the goal. And I'm not sure if Dani Ceballos gets a foot on it or not. In my preview, I predicted Lucas Vazquez would get a goal. So I'm going to go and give it to Lucas Vazquez. So yes, Lucas Vazquez gets us on the board first in the game. Goal number 2, again, it's these fantastic through balls from the Brazilians. This time it's from Vini to Brahim again, and he gets past the keeper. And honestly, I think it was Badiashile for Chelsea. Poor effort from him. I think he's getting roasted right now from the Chelsea fans, just saying what a poor effort it was. When we look at Brahim, though, the finish to get around the keeper and to basically pass it into the box, into the goal, was just a fantastic finish. And this is what Brahim does in this game. Like I said, his position-wise, I'm not sure exactly where his best position is. Is it left wing, right wing, 10, false 9? I don't know. I just know that he's a gamer. He comes in no matter what he's asked to do, and he's just a stud. He's definitely one of the probably best, 12, 13 players, and I think he's going to have a super important role this season for Real Madrid. Just coming off the bench, I don't think he's going to be starting a lot. Maybe in the lesser games we might see him more, but I think him and Arda Güler are going to be critical to the success for Real Madrid this season. Goal number 3 in this game, unfortunately, goes to Chelsea as Madueke basically dunks on Fran Garcia. Again, Fran Garcia leaves a lot, defensively to be desired from him. I think his positioning is pretty awful at times, and I'm not sure if it was a lack of effort attempting on this header, but he doesn't even attempt to go and head this ball and really challenge Madueke in this at all. Also, Courtois, poor effort to try to make the save here. This was Courtois' worst game. Now, maybe it's because he only plays 45 minutes in this game, and also Chelsea don't even really get many shots on target, but I thought the header from Madueke was something that Courtois should have been able to save, at least get a hand on it, and it was a pretty poor effort from Courtois on this one, but I will let it slide. I thought overall he had a really good preseason. Again, though, with Fran Garcia, I think it does leave a lot to be desired, and that's why Ferland Mendy is firmly the starting left back. In the second half, I'll be honest with you all, it's basically a Castilla training session. A lot of the subs come on, and we don't get to see Arda Güler, Endrick, as I mentioned already. Even we didn't get to see Joan Martinez in this one either, which I was very disappointed about. He's somebody I'm still very interested to see. Is he going to be back with the first team? Since he doesn't play in this one, I'm leaning no, but what do you guys think? Let me know. When it comes to my man of the match, I was torn between 2 players. I thought Brahim Diaz did fantastic in this game, and I also thought Vini shows you why he's one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. However, I will give it to Brahim in this game. He gets the goal and the assist in this game, and I thought it was a fantastic game from Brahim. He's going to be vital to the success for Real Madrid this season. Moving past the U.S. preseason tour, I wanted to mention today is the first day of training for the entire Real Madrid squad. That is right. As you can see in my pictures here, Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Fede Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Carvajal, the list goes on and on. The squad is back together, getting ready for the UEFA Super Cup against Atalanta. And it's going to be really interesting to see who is in that starting 11. Is Mbappe getting rolled out there right away after just getting back from holiday? Is Jude going to be in the starting 11? I think it's going to be really interesting to see. And of course, I will be covering that on my channel with my match preview coming probably the next couple days. So be on the lookout for that. If you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more videos like this, all Real Madrid content, this is the place to be for that. Again, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. This has been Dally with Dally FC. Cheers, Hala Madrid.